Yo, what's going on, Mazinger Z fans? I didn't know that it's gonna be a long time. Yeah, it's been 4 years since Mazinger Z's been like way before Super Robot Wars, right? It is amazing, and yeah, it is a retrospective, like a short one for me. Yes, I have watched it, and there were like dozens and dozens of fans watching like the movie, and some of the fans, like the older fans that were like parents that were like the age of my parents, or somewhere the age of Happy Console Gamer, and somewhere the happy like Rocket Punch, and some of the moves that were like Iron Hurricane and all this stuff, but I won't. Unfortunately, the clip is going to be removed because I won't. There's legal issues and all that other crap, and I had to abide by the legal rules, or else, by life. So it sucks, but when you get excited, but when you're a movie fan and you had to stay by the rules. But he says this doesn't stop me from looking at the pictures and all that. Well, anyways, I think I talked too much, and I hope I'll see you later. And oh yeah, the fadeaway might be coming in 3, 2, 1, and let's go. Oh yeah, and one more thing, I almost forgot about Radio Shack, and yes, I got one. And I got a few items from Radio Shack. It was the TV router where you convert it into you switch data modes. And I have the Space Invaders. And I never heard of a company like having a foreclosure for like half a year until recently, as of 2017. Yeah, that's kind of like. Really, this is kind of relatable to what Radio Shack was on the same position as Toys R Us, and Radio Shack didn't do as much after like they switched to doing smartphones and other phones, but they didn't do as much. So it is relevant. And yes. I like what I recommend Majinger Z Infinity movie. Yeah, if you're a super robot fan, like I don't know, Power Rangers and Voltron, that was for you. If you're a longtime fan of Majinger Z and you like all this stuff similar to Macross, this is for you. If you're even for new guys who, like me, who I never heard about it before till like I heard stories about it through Super Robot War games, so I would recommend it. So yeah, it sucks that that you see like old franchises, like they come to life, but they haven't gotten a lot of attention as like the newer guys. The newer guys as of now, they're getting more attention than what the older franchise like Majinger Z, which kind of bummer. But it's on Crunchyroll, so I think I might see it on Crunchyroll, but we'll see. Anyways, I think my bet is it might appear on Blu-rays, DVDs, or digital HD and all that stuff by the time it was available. So, anyways, so I just finished like by the time you like. Okay, this is more like a quick plot summary of what am I going to, and some other, as well as like giving what I wanted to give this movie in terms of like from 1 to 5 rocket punches. But first off, I'm gonna give out like, oh yeah, that I watched it twice. Yes, I did, which is awesome. It was awesome to watch it twice to give it a better understanding of what. I'd rather watch it twice to give it a better analysis than just rush out and probably screw it up. So it's been roughly 10 years in with plot summary terms, and since the world was going to be destroyed by Dr. Hell and his underground empire, Koji Kabuto and his giant robot Mazinger Z and his allies in a proton power laboratory put an end to Dr. Hell's ambitions, and peace has returned to the world. And Koji, he followed his grandpa and father's example to become a scientist at Proton Power Lab, and Sayaka, who you get it, it was like 10 years. She dropped off like her tomboyish nature and becomes a Proton Lab's new director after her father, Professor Yumi, has become prime minister. And his younger brother Shiro has been a gifted pilot working for a lab, while Boss and a gang continues to work at a ramen shop or restaurant. Tetsuya Tsuruki and Jun, who has been fought with Kochi together, have been since married, and she was pregnant with Tetsuya's child, and you get the gist of it. So the intro was Tetsuya was fighting against what would be a remnants of Dr. Hell's army, and Texas, and next thing you know, a big ass explosion happened, and my golly, who would have thought he'd seen this coming? And then, there was a construction below Mount Fuji for the new proton power plant factory, and while they discovered this gigantic ass Majin mech, he named it Koji named it Infinity, Mazinger Infinity. He found this a mysterious life. I wouldn't call it android, but she's more artificial, being called Lisa. And next thing you know, the underground empire has been back, along with a broken and barren Ashura, and his plan. Dr. Hill's he thought like after years of thinking, oh well, maybe conquering the world is just nothing. I have no interest. I look at infinity, look at all that unlimited power. With this, I can rewrite the whole universe to be just a world ruled by my empire. So he did. So since he is retired from piloting, and there's like a new generation called, I think it was like Majin Girls. It kind of reminds me of Ginyu Force in a way, but it's what's so funny. That was a new generation, and so that leaves some shock, and I probably. Yes, I'm gonna end this one right here because I probably don't want to end it spoilers. So there's the main plot. It was a big triangle relationship between Koji, Sayaka, and Lisa, and it pretty much it turns like a mom daughter and dad daughter relationship, and it's like, holy shit. And there's like And Kochi's like his mind. He didn't want to fight no more. He wants to continue his grandfather's and father's legacy as a scientist at a proton power lab. He wants to use the proton power for peace only, like just like Sayaka and her dad. So it's and I like the parts. There were lots of one like funny stuff. Like there's Boss, Mucha, and Nuke, and there's like three crazy scientists. Well, crazy random ass scientists. It's like, oh my god. That the stuff that was so funny, mate. And yes, there was some minor fan service, and what I'm seeing in here was the idol Majin girls. They're shooting missiles from their breasts. Yes, yes. And the rope and the mechs they're riding looks like the ones that were typical of all the original Majins from roughly 10 years ago. That's, keep in mind, that's... So what happened was that, yeah, that... What happened after... After? I probably don't want to spoil that one. You know, I know, it's like there's so much... There's so much stuff that got me surprised. It keeps me like, wow, I'm getting pulling more into it, and it was what, it's what would happen if, I don't know, I'll think of any the any anime franchises getting their movie sequels, just like Dragon Ball. They're finally getting Battles of Gods, Resurrection F, and then there's a new one, the upcoming movie. It was about the Saiyans. And the other one that I can't remember, now I'm starting to remember, it was like Sailor Moon 1992. What if Sailor Moon 1992 version gets a sequel movie? And they had to find as many of the old cast from the 1992 and the Crystal, and they try to, you know, get as many of the original cast as much as possible. And the thing I like, there were some flaws. I kind of makes me wish, man, I kind of wish they expanded a little bit of the backstories of what's happening with the supporting characters. But oh well, it gets a good balance overall, and it was, and yes. It was Koji's last fight. Well, I'm sorry. That was not that much of a spoiler. It has been 10 years and he didn't want to fight no more. And he was going to become a scientist full time anyways. Since his... and it figures that his brother, Toji, is going to inherit Mazinger Z anyways. And then again, Tetsuya is fighting at his place as a soldier. So if you're asking me now, what I think of, what would I give Mazinger Z Infinity, since there was a movie sequel to the original Mazinger Z show, I would give it around close to, what was it, 4 out of 5 rocket punches. It's that good. It was that good. Yeah. It was that good. So, I would say this. Thank you for giving me new memories. Thank you for giving me new memories in terms of like watching Majin, getting to experience Mazinger for the first time and all that stuff. Makes me appreciate Mazinger Z for the impact that did to the mecha shows, the super robot genre, and of course Koji being a basis for all those hot-headed shonen heroes, and but that was before Goku. So thank you for that, and I would say I'll end this. I'll get a proper ending than this, and I'll say Pilder on.